Namaste everyone, I am your co-host Shravani ma'am. Welcome to your favorite learning channel. The topic for today's video is complex permanent tissue phloem. So in our previous video, we had discussed about the complex permanent tissue xylem. We had seen what is xylem, different cells present in xylem and the functions performed by different cells in xylem. So today we will be discussing about the other type of complex permanent tissue which is known as phloem. Okay, and we would be discussing about phloem in detail. So to begin with, we will first talk about the nature of the phloem. So this term, that is phloem, it originates, or it is derived, we can say it is derived from a Greek word, and the Greek word is phloos. So this phloos means bark. Okay, so this phloem is derived from the Greek word phloos, which means bark. So the phloem is also a complex tissue. It is a type of complex permanent tissue that contains, so this phloem is a complex permanent tissue, we know that, and it contains what? It contains tubes. It contains tubes, but performs no mechanical function. It does not perform what? It does not perform any type of mechanical functions. Okay, now this phloem, what can it do? It can move the materials. It can move materials in both the directions. So phloem, what does it do? It transports food from the leaves to other parts of plant, the plant. Okay, so this is the main function that is performed by the phloem tissue. So now this phloem is made of 4 types of elements. So phloem is made of 4 types of elements. And what are these 4 types of elements? One is the sieve tubes. Then there is companion cells. Then there is phloem parenchyma. And then the 4th element is the phloem fibers. Okay, so these are the 4 types of elements that make the phloem tissue. So let's discuss about each one of them separately. So let's begin with the sieve tube elements. Okay, so these sieve tubes are conducting elements. They are the conducting elements in phloem. So the sieve tubes, they possess what? They possess thick primary walls. They have thick primary walls with their ends How are their ends? Ends can be transverse. They can be transverse or they can be oblique. Okay, with the transverse or oblique ends. Okay, so ends of the primary walls can be transverse or oblique, and the end wall contains a number of pores and it looks like a sieve. End wall has number of pores that looks like what? It looks like a sieve. Okay, and hence the name, and so it is called. Thus it is called what? It is called the sieve plate. Okay, so the sieve cells are arranged one above the other and they form vertical sieve tubes. So in matured sieve tube, in case of or we can say in mature sieve tubes, let's see what happens. In mature sieve tubes, okay, the nucleus is absent. Nucleus is absent and okay, so the nucleus is absent but it contains a lining layer of cytoplasm, but has cytoplasm which is present in the form of a lining layer. So this is an important feature of sieve tube elements. So there's a special protein called slime body is seen in it. Okay, a special protein that is called slime body can be seen in it. That is, can be seen in this lining, thin lining of the cytoplasm, and sometimes the pores in the sieve plate are blocked by a substance. Sometimes pores in sieve plates, what happens to this pore? They are blocked. They are blocked by a substance called callose. Okay, so the callose is a substance that sometimes blocks the pores present in the sieve plates. So this was about the sieve tube element. Next we will be discussing about the companion cells. Companion cells. So these companion cells, they are thin walled. They are elongated. They are elongated and specialized. They are specialized parenchyma cells. Okay, so they are thin wall, elongated and specialized parenchyma cells that are associated with, these are associated with what? They are associated with the sieve elements. Okay, so these companion cells are thin walled, elongated, specialized parenchyma cells that are associated with the sieve elements. Okay, so the companion cells, they have cytoplasm. They have cytoplasm and a prominent a prominent nucleus is also present. Okay, then they are connected to sieve tubes through pits. They are connected to the sieve tubes through what? Through pits that are found in the lateral walls. Okay, so the companion cells are present. They are present only in, where are they present? They are only present in the angiosperms, and they are absent in the gymnosperms, and in pteridophytes. Okay, so they are absent in gymnosperms and pteridophytes, and they assist the sieve tubes in, what do? They assist sieve tubes in what? In conduction of the food materials. Okay, so this is about the companion cells. Now let's discuss about the next element, that is the phloem parenchyma. Okay, so this phloem parenchyma, they are parenchyma cells. They are the parenchyma cells that are associated with the phloem. Okay, so these are thin walled. They are thin walled. Okay, and they are living cells. Okay, so they are thin walled living cells, and the phloem parenchyma, contains what? It contains resins, it contains tannins in some plants. Then the phloem parenchyma, it helps what? It helps in storing of starch and fats, and it also helps in lateral conduction. It helps in lateral conduction of food. Okay, then the phloem parenchyma are present in, all pteridophytes. Okay, so they are present in all the pteridophytes, in all the gymnosperms. Okay, so they are present in all pteridophytes, gymnosperms and dicots, but they are absent in the monocots. Okay, so this is about the phloem parenchyma. Now let's see what is the phloem fiber. Phloem fibers. Okay, so the phloem fibers, they are also called what are they called? They are also called as bast fibers. Phloem fibers are also known as bast fibers. So the phloem fibers are thick walled, they are lignified, okay, and they are thick walled, lignified, elongated, spindle shaped cells. Spindle shaped cells. Okay, and they possess a narrow lumen. So the phloem fibers provide mechanical strength to the tissue. Phloem fibers, they provide mechanical strength to the tissue. So among the 4 kinds of phloem elements, phloem fibers are the only dead tissue. So they are dead tissue. So among all other phloem elements, that is the phloem fibers are the only dead tissues. Okay, so now let's talk about the functions that are performed by the phloem tissue. Okay, so this phloem tissue, the main function of phloem is So what is the main function performed by the phloem tissue? So phloem tissue, it helps in translocation of the prepared food material. It helps in the translocation of prepared food material. Okay, we can say prepared food material from where? From the leaves to the various parts of plant. For what? For storage and for growth of the plants. Okay, so this is the main function that is performed by the phloem tissue. Alright, so now let's quickly revise everything that we have studied today. So today we have discussed about the phloem tissue in detail. So we already know that phloem tissue is another type of complex permanent tissue. So this word phloem is derived from Greek word phloos, which means bark. So the phloem contains, it is a complex permanent tissue, we already know, and it contains tubes, but it does not perform any mechanical function. So this phloem tissue, it can move materials in both the direction. So it transports food from the leaves to all other parts of the plant. This is the main function that is performed by the phloem tissue. Now this phloem tissue is made up of 4 different elements, and these are sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma and phloem fibers. Then we discussed about each of the elements in detail. So first we discussed about the sieve tubes. So sieve tubes are the conducting elements of the phloem tissue, and the sieve tubes possess thick primary walls, but the end of these walls they can be transverse or oblique. So the end wall of the sieve tube they possess pores that looks like sieve, and thus it is called sieve plate. So in mature sieve tubes what happens is sieve cells are arranged one above the other and they form vertical sieve tubes. Now in mature sieve tubes the nucleus is absent, but there is a thin lining of cytoplasm and there is a special protein called slime body that can be seen in it. Sometimes what happens, the pores in the sieve plate they get blocked by a substance called callus. Okay, so this is about the sieve tube. Then we talked about the companion cells. So the companion cells are thin walled, they are elongated and specialized parenchyma cells that are associated with sieve elements, and the companion cells have cytoplasm and a prominent nucleus, and these companion cells they are connected to sieve tubes through pits that are found in the lateral walls. So these companion cells they are present only in angiosperms, but they are absent in gymnosperms and pteridophytes. And these cells, that is the companion cells, they assist the sieve tubes in conduction of the food material. Then we discussed about phloem parenchyma. So these phloem parenchyma are the parenchyma cells that are associated with the phloem. They have thin walled and they are living cells. They contain resins, tannins in some plants. So the phloem parenchyma cells they help in storage of starch and fats, and they help in lateral conduction of food, and they are present in all the pteridophytes, gymnosperms and dicots, but they are absent in case of monocots. Then we finally discussed about the fourth element, that is the phloem fibers. So these phloem fibers are also known as the bast fibers. They are thick walled, lignified, elongated, spindle shaped cells, and they have a narrow lumen. So their main function is to provide mechanical strength to the tissue, and amongst all other phloem elements the phloem fibers are the only dead tissue. Okay, then we looked at the function that is performed by phloem. So the main function performed by phloem is that they help in translocation of prepared food material from the leaves to various parts of the plant for storage and for better growth in plants. So I hope you all would have got some great insights by watching today's video. Please do not forget to like and share the video. Till then, thank you for watching.